You wake in total darkness, but darkness is the wrong word for what you feel. You have no eyelids to close. You have no eyes at all. The world reaches you instead through 8 slender legs, each one a living instrument, one tuned to a frequency the human ear cannot register. The grass around you hums. A beetle, 3 centimeters to your left, drags its abdomen across a blade. You feel it before it finishes the step. You are not afraid. You are listening with your body. The air above you is cold and wet, and the wetness matters. Moisture is information. It tells you the dew has fallen, that the temperature has dropped past the dew point, old, and the morning is close. You have spent the last several hours weaving, though weaving is also the wrong word. You did not braid. You did not knot. You laid down a horizontal sheet, that fabric of silk so fine that a single strand is roughly 1/10 the diameter of a human hair, and you anchored it with vertical knockdown lines that rise into the grass like invisible scaffolding. You are standing now on the underside of your own ceiling, upside down, waiting, and then it happens. A small winged insect, navigating the dark, strikes one of those vertical threads. It tumbles. It falls on your sheet, and every leg you own feels it at once. That was you for the last 60 seconds. You were a sheet web spider, specifically a member of the family Linniphidae, one of the most abundant and least noticed predators in the temperate world. There are more than 4,500 described species in your family, and on a single hectare of European meadow, scientists have counted populations exceeding several million individuals. You are everywhere. You are in the lawn. You are in the hedge. You are in the long grass behind the shed. And on certain mornings, the settles just right. The entire field reveals what you have been doing all night. Thousands of silken sheets, side by side, suddenly catching the light. People call it gossamer. People call it ghost grass. Walk past it for their whole lives without ever asking what it is. Perception. What you just inhabited matters because it dismantles one of the quietest assumptions human beings carry. The assumption that intelligence requires a brain like ours, that perception requires eyes like ours. Life lived close to the ground is a life of less. A sheet web spider has a central nervous system smaller than a grain of rice. And yet it builds, navigates, hunts, mates, defends territory, reads weather, owes its entire existence to the rhythm of moisture in the air. To inhabit that body, even for a minute, is to understand that the architecture of awareness is far stranger and far older than we were taught. Let us step into it again, fact by fact, and see what the grass has been hiding. Step back into the body. You are crouched beneath your sheet. You feel a vibration arrive through the silk, and within roughly 30 milliseconds, faster than a human can blink, you have already begun moving. Sheet web spiders do not chase. They calculate. Bands of the web are not sticky in the way an orb weaver's spiral is sticky. Instead, the geometry does the work. The knockdown lines above the sheet act as aerial obstacles. Flying insects collide with them, lose lift, onto the horizontal platform below. You, underneath, simply reach up through the silken bite. The prey is held not by glue but by gravity and entanglement, one of the most efficient passive capture systems in the animal kingdom, and it predates human agriculture by more than 100 million years. Steep back into the body. You are not alone. To your right, perhaps 15 centimeters away, another sheet glistens and another beyond that. In dense populations, sheet web colonies can blanket entire fields. They do not cooperate. They do not share food. Proximity in a way most spiders do not. And ecologists studying these aggregations have begun to call them functional colonies. Not social in the way ants are social, communal in the way a forest of trees is communal. Each individual benefits from the collective dampening of the wind, from the shared dew, from the sheer statistical weight of so many traps in one place, of an architecture larger than yourself, and you did not have to be told. Step back into the body. Something tugs your silk that is not prey. It is wind, and the wind carries a chemical signature you recognize. Cobwebs, spiders, communicate primarily through vibration and pheromone, and during the mating season, males abandon their own webs and travel, sometimes tens of meters, extraordinary distance for an animal weighing a few milligrams, to find a female's signal. When the male arrives at the edge of the female's sheet, he does not rush. He plucks the silk in a specific rhythm, tactile song, and if she finds the rhythm correct, she allows him to cross. If she does not, she eats him. The line between courtship and predation is, for you, a single misplaced beat steep back into the body. Perception. The wind is rising. You feel a sudden urge that has no name in human language, a hormonal pulse, a behavioral switch, something like the feeling a migrating bird must have when the days shorten. You climb. You climb a blade of grass to its highest point. You stand on the tip. You raise your abdomen toward the sky, and from your spinnerets, you release a single thread of silk into the wind. It is so light that the rising warm air of morning lifts it. The thread pulls. You let go. You are flying. This is called ballooning, and sheet web spiders are among the most prolific aeronauts on Earth. Atmospheric scientists have collected ballooning spiders at altitudes above 4 kilometers, drifting on jet streams, traveling hundreds of kilometers in a single day. There is recent evidence, published in the journal Current Biology in 2018, that spiders detect the Earth's atmospheric electric field through tiny sensory hairs called trichobothria, and that they may be using that electric field, not just the wind, to choose when to launch. You did not fly because you wanted to. You flew because the sky told you it was time. Step back into the body. You are now somewhere else. The wind has set you down on a stem you have never touched. You do not panic. You do not mourn the web you left behind. You simply begin again. You secrete a new dragline, the substrate, with your front legs. Within hours, a new sheet is forming. Within a day, you have a new home. You are, by any honest definition, one of the most successful colonizers on this planet. Exceptions. Sheet web spiders have been found on Arctic tundra, in alpine meadows above 3,000 meters, on freshly cooled volcanic islands within weeks of emergence, and inside the cooling vents of human buildings. Perception. And where you land, you weave steep back into the body. The dew is heavy now. The sun is rising, though you cannot see it. You feel it as warmth on the silk above you, and you feel the silk begin to bead. Every horizontal strand is now lined with tiny droplets of water, and the entire sheet has become visible to creatures with eyes. This is the morning when humans, walking out to their cars, notice what was invisible the day before. They will say, the grass is covered in cobwebs. They will say, a strange fog has settled. Perception. They will not know that what they are seeing is not abandoned silk, but active architecture, and that beneath every shining sheet, a small body is waiting, perfectly still, perfectly listening. Back into the body one last time. You feel a footstep far away, vibrating through the soil. A human is approaching. You do not flee. You do not freeze. You simply lower your center of gravity and continue waiting, because in the 700 generations of your lineage that have lived in this particular meadow, the footsteps of large mammals have meant almost nothing. Your time scale is different. Your priorities are different. Pass. The dew will lift. The sheet will be rebuilt tonight, as it was rebuilt last night, as it has been rebuilt for roughly 140 million years before any human stood upright. Perception. And maybe that is not so different from what you do every Sunday evening when you tidy the rooms of a small home you did not choose, in a city you did not build, on a planet you did not name, preparing a quiet structure that lets the next day arrive. You weave too. You weave routines and schedules and the soft scaffolding of habit, and you anchor them to the dew points of your own life, the alarm, the kettle, the closing door. You wait inside your architecture, and you call it ordinary. The spider does the same. The spider has been doing the same since before the dinosaurs. Perception. And when the morning light hits the grass and reveals what was woven in the dark, you are looking at a kind of housekeeping older than your species. You are looking at a relative, closest your eyes for 10 seconds. Be it again. legs, on cool silk, no eyes, the dew settling, the grass humming, a single thread of your own making lifting in the wind, ready to carry you somewhere you have never been. Hold that. Let it be real for a moment. Open your eyes. No. Look at the grass differently. Tomorrow morning, if the dew has fallen and the light is low, walk slowly across your lawn before anyone else has touched it. You will see the sheets. You'll see thousands of them. And you will know what is waiting underneath. Then come back and tell me what you felt. Tell where anything in you recognized anything in them. I will be reading. Next time, you will not be a creature. You will be something in your house that you have walked past every day. Something you have wiped, replaced, even thrown away, and never once considered was alive.